Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. How are you all doing today? So, this is Francine with my channel, The Oversoul Archives. I'm here for a message for you guys, another one. It's been a hectic week. I feel like I've been dancing and moving around a lot and getting things done. So, if you've noticed a lull, do not fear. That is something that happens once in a while, but I typically do that kind of dancing period of like getting things done and then getting back into channeling pretty quickly. So I'm going to be tapping into a lot of people this week. So before I start with the reading itself, I want to welcome you all in. Thank you so much for being here and thank you for deciding to check out this reading. I am primarily clairvoyant and clairaudient and claircognizant. So I'm going to be bringing a number of clairs into the readings that I do in channel for you guys. This is going to be about the executive branch. So the executive branch, I recently did a part 1 and I'm going to see if I'm correct. I'm going to say this side. It's the right side of your screen. You're going to see the link for part 1. If you'd like to see just an understanding of the overall energy and a Celtic cross reading that I did for the executive branch a couple, I think at most a week ago. We're going to tap into now with this reading the year ahead. So I'm going to be breaking down the executive branch and seeing what we can glean and what we can learn from each month of the year coming up. So we're going to be starting with May of 2025 until we get to April of 2026. So what can we expect with the executive branch on this current trajectory? Now, I want to mention, as I like to state nowadays, that trajectories can shift or change. The timing on certain things can also shift based on the decisions of each person and the party, the members of the executive branch. So if the president, if the vice president, if the cabinet members decide to go ahead on something earlier than what we anticipate in this reading or what we mention, please note that that's normal. It depends on what works best for them, right? So we're going to see if we can get the highest timeline, the best case scenario, and the most likely scenario. We're going to see if those come through. I'll let you know because I feel like we may get a card for the most likely thing to happen in January of 2026, but then also get what they're likely to choose and what their highest timeline is as well. So we'll see how America fares because we looked at their goal and destiny back about a week ago, and that was interesting. If you guys haven't watched it, I would implore you to watch that first to get an overall picture of what you can expect with this reading. Very interesting stuff. Information on previous presidents, one specific president, and a time frame that is really important for you to take note of. So, without further ado, I'd like to start off with the year ahead. If you guys have any questions, anything you'd like to recommend, please feel free to include them down in the comments below. I will try to keep up with messages. I've been having a hard time keeping up with emails. So if you haven't heard back from me, I am getting through all of them. I actually am really happy to see so many emails. So it's exciting to note. So let's begin. Let's see what happens. Thank you guys. Thank you so much for being here. So to start off, we're going to use the Mira Visions deck for the year ahead. So spirit team members. I just heard Brandon Powers. I'm not sure who that is. Thought I would share that name with you. I'm not sure who that is yet. We have messages like this coming out, so I hope you're ready for that. So I'm getting a card. So we're getting for May. Oh my gosh. Let's start off with May and kind of keep going. Spirit team members, what would you like to say about the overall energy or what to expect for the month of June 2025? Okay, those two want to come through. So we have May, we have June, July. This feels like August, September. something about, okay. Let's keep going. September, October, actually. October, November, December, January. We're getting this really fast, so that's good. January. Okay. Ooh, so I want to drop these. It's January. Whew. Energy is really, really strong. So May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April. Wow. Okay. So you guys, there's a lot of energy in the room. I'm just getting a lot of messages with regards to animal totems. If you guys are familiar with my channel, I have a number of spirit guides that are very impactful and very helpful in readings. I feel like all of us have a connection in some form or fashion to animals, whether we have a close connection or a severed connection where we feel like they're terrible, we're scared of them, or whatever it is. And of course, it can depend on which animal, but there's something about the animal totem that came to me recently. This is about the aardvark. This is an animal and a species that is nocturnal. So there's something about the nighttime. There's something about either the people within the executive branch having a really freaking hard time sleeping. Because when I think of nocturnal animals, I think about being up at night. And for humans, we should be asleep at some point. So it feels like the person, whoever I'm thinking of or whoever's coming through in this reading for the executive branch is not sleeping. And so I'm hearing sleeping and eating. They're not sleeping or eating. And then also there's this energy of like being very protective, because aardvarks are very notorious for holding their own and for defending their family. Like, you're not going to mess with their community. You're not going to mess with their people. And I feel like the executive branch is exemplifying the energy of don't mess with our country. So I get that, right? But I think that's important for you to note how humanity is connected to everything. So we may think that, baser instincts are aligned with animals and that is where we leave it. But I feel like there's a lot of spiritual aspects of the experience we have now as humans that are linked to animals. So there's something about that animal coming through. And if you are an animal lover or just have an openness to animals, there's something about you being a part of the reason why you're here is because of the connection you have to animals, and that connects us, because I have that connection as well, basically. So I feel like your spirit team is just mentioning that. Please look into animal totems on your spirit team. They are helpful. So we have for the first month, guys, the Seven of Swords. Yikes. So the Seven of Swords is here. That's the energy of someone who needs to run out of a situation, who needs to overcome something. Moving very quickly out of a situation here. So with the Seven of Swords, why is the Seven of Swords here for the executive branch? We have Uranus. Yeah, there's a lot of mystery. So, not sure if I like seeing those two energies together. So we have Saturn. Yeah, there's just a lot of hard work happening. We have 19 and 20, guys, Capricorn and Pisces energy. This is feeling like just working very hard on something that you don't quite understand yet. So the executive branch is feeling like things are too murky. It's too difficult to understand and to determine what to do. And so the best thing in their minds is to run, to go with whatever it's like momentum, moving into the next task and the next task and the next task, and leaving behind the fears and doubts that come with it, or I feel like this is also foregoing a sense of like crossing your T's and dotting your I's. It's almost like we don't have time to make this right or to make this perfect. We only have time to get the hell out of here. So this is the energy of kind of underhanded work, of saying no one's going to notice the details, so just move on. So the executive branch is doing this, where they're kind of saying, let's run, let's just get the bulk of this done. Let's take care of the main responsibilities and let's just forget the rest. I get that. Bottom of the deck is Leo energy. Yeah, this is about your outward appearance. So right now, the executive branch is trying to look strong and they're foregoing certain details because all they care about really right now is looking strong. Okay, so they're trying to look, have a sense of decorum with the American people, and it seems as though they're trying to do things differently. So I'm getting a contrarian energy. This is about the tendency. There's like a group of people in the world, I feel like, that are contrarian. This is the energy of you will go against whatever someone says or sells, no matter how good it sounds. So I'm getting the energy of someone who's stubborn with the Leo energy. It feels more the shadow energy right now. It's stubbornness and it's looking past errors that are coming up and saying whatever, like they're not as important. And also it's about thinking of how you can go contrary to what has been done for a while. So very interesting. We'll see how that works out for them for the month of May. What advice do you have for the executive branch of the government of the United States of America here, Spirit Team? Yeah, perspective. So we have two cards. I feel this card is also significant. This is about saying there's a better way to do this. There's a need for pause. So they're actually not supposed to be in the Seven of Swords energy. Their spirit team is saying, and the spirit teams of the American people are saying, no, you should not be running and moving on from something that you don't think you have time for. You actually have the time, and there's a need to look at something differently. So there's a need for them to pause. There's a need for them to reflect and to have insight right now. So they're actually not in the energy that is optimal for them because they're not seeing the issues that are coming up. We also have the Four of Cups as the advice for May. It says, seek out other possibilities, look for the magic in life, and be aware of your own emotions. There's kind of a stubbornness and pride with avoiding emotions, certain emotions. And this is the energy of don't think about all the negative things, keep going, but it's almost to a fault. It's like when you don't see, sometimes it's good to see pros and cons and not to get emotionally involved with them. Does that make sense? It's like being able to break it down and to say, okay, these are the objective issues we have right now as this in our society, in the news. Let's focus on those things regardless of how we feel about them. There's more so of an emotional attachment where people are getting like either apathetic in the executive branch and they're feeling like they don't want to address the things that make them feel this way, but there is a need to look into those things because those things actually are telling them something deeper. So there's a lack of emotional support, and emotional stability in the executive branch this month. So yeah, when you have Uranus and Saturn's all about like hardships or like addressing like deep lessons karmically. When you have that with Uranus and you're like, it's mysterious, there's like a mysterious energy surrounding these hard truths. It's really muddled. So their advice is basically to slow down so they can actually see this stuff clearly. We have Three of Pentacles. Do what you love, a time of great personal growth in your career or artistic endeavors, working with others in a cooperative manner. There's like a lack of cooperative energies where people are working together. There's a lot more of a separate energy, and it's starting to weigh on the executive branch because they feel like the negativity is really really hard to ignore. And what they're doing is, instead of addressing the negativity in some capacity, they're ignoring it and becoming complacent or apathetic or just disinterested. They're not happy in a sense. Six of Cups is about the past, nostalgia, inner child. So there's a need for just an inner child or an openness to happiness. I feel like they're not as contented right now. So that is their advice, is to reflect in order to have those feelings come up. Um, so with the second one for June 2025, we have the Nine of Wands, pushing through something. So we're getting the energy of someone that's pushing through. What's interesting is I want to ask my spirit team about a card that came. Yeah. So I want to ask my spirit team, are there two cards for June? No. So we're going to keep these as one. I got these two mixed up and I was like, what the hell is going on? Nine of Wands, resilience. So there's a resilient energy in the executive branch for June. So they're pushing past some force. Yeah, with that Leo energy. Yeah, more fire energy. So they're going to be a lot more bold and a lot more outspoken in June for sure. They're going to be a lot more interesting. Aries energy. Wow. This is the energy of someone who wants to look good, because we have Venus. This is the energy of, you would think like love or something, or nurturance. I'm feeling more of like a luxurious energy. This is about resources. So there's some incoming money that's coming in for the executive branch in some capacity, and they're really excited about that. They're expecting a large sum of money to come in. So there's something about pushing through until they can get to that opportunity, that deal, to whatever it is that they're expecting in June that will give them more of an income, more money. So what is that exactly? We have the Two of Pentacles, balancing out the budget. I'm hearing fair distribution of wealth. Knight of Pentacles, this is something they've been waiting for, slow and steadily. This is the entertainer. They've been entertaining other countries or other groups, and now they're ready to have their fill of something. So something's coming to the executive branch, to America, that they've been waiting for, and it's some kind of business offer or proposal. Because of all the fire energy, it feels like a lot of like determination to get this done, and they're at the final leg, it seems like. I'm curious what July is going to be like, because it feels like it's relating to that. So something is coming in June for them. What is their advice? Okay, their advice is time to make a decision. So they need to not get like drunk on the riches, because what's coming through is that they're trying to wait and bide their time for something in order to get more money, or they're trying to get as much as they can out of a situation or situations, multiple situations in various places. They're trying to make so much money, and I'm seeing the word comatose. So something about sleeping with this group, like they're not sleeping at all, and it's like concerning. Comatose I want to look into, because I feel like there's something about the definition. So comatose is of relating to or affected with coma, unconscious, marked by lethargy, torpid, relating to or resembling coma, drowsy, lethargic, a state of prolonged unconsciousness in which a person cannot be awakened. So there's something about something being closed for them. They want to close something. I don't know if this is a case. Is this a case that wants to be closed, that they're trying to close? Yeah, this is about something with world affairs. This is something international. They're trying to close something internationally, and there's something about them needing to be clear on what they want, and also to detox, because there's something about them getting too high off of the fumes. Some country or some group has like fumes, and they're energetically getting drunk off of it. They're getting too high on some power, some luxuriousness, something that's really rich and abundant around them is really tempting them, and they're not actually doing something. Is not what it seems. There's like an illusion. There's an illusion with something they recently are going to get their hands on in June. Okay, so we have 7 again. So the number 7 is significant. There's something about divine timing. This was meant to happen in this manner, in this way for them. They need to recognize that they are needing to be faithful, because the 7 of Pentacles feels like the energy of someone who has been waiting on a harvest and waiting for it to ripen, for it to be ready, for them to see what they invested on. And I feel like they've invested wisely in something, but they're getting a little too diluted. So someone might have given them a date and said, hey guys, something great is going to happen to us, and they're kind of getting stuck on the date and not the energy or the like circumstances surrounding the date. This is what I mean by trajectories. Everyone has a tendency of thinking that everything is clear cut in life, and thinking like if a reader tells you this is going to happen, it will happen. Otherwise, they're a liar. I'm getting that energy in the executive branch. Like someone told them something and they acted like this person was a reader, and they said, okay, it's got to happen this way. And it's like, no, you actually have to just be wise about how it comes through, like recognizing when it's there and not waiting on the date. It's like they kind of missed the circumstances surrounding this and why it's happening this way. This will make sense to the executive branch or someone that knows them. So if you guys know someone, or you feel like you can get this out to them, they will understand what this means. But they need a mental shift with this, and this is important. I don't think people realize how impactful every individual is. I feel like people tend to dismiss themselves quite easily. So I'm getting that like energy here for someone watching, that they need to like see that their influence on social media and so forth is pretty impactful. Something about you getting the word out to them about that. There's some delusion. There's some illusion here with this that needs to be cleared out so they can act rationally with this one. So June is going to be quite interesting for them. Next we have for July, 2 8s. So that's something about rapid movement, and I told you guys it's gonna connect to June. So we have 8 of Swords and 8 of Cups. This is about moving out of something that is like a prison. So I feel like what they're gonna do is they're gonna make a mistake in June. They're gonna make a decision that was not right, in the sense that the circumstances were not what they thought they were, and they're gonna end up in a place of being stuck. So it's unfortunate. This is what is coming up, but they can change this. So energetically, if you guys would like to energetically manifest something different for our country, along with other people, please feel free. I will be doing that because something big is going to leave them stuck in July. Ace of Wands, something that they do, there's something about acting on something. This could be an act of either war or an act of defiance, is going to result in the 8 of Swords. And it's going to also make them feel like they're stuck when they're not really stuck. What is this? I'm hearing something with 7 or serpentine. Something about a snake is significant, and we have Libra. Something about either a Libra that's a snake, or this is about Libra energy, and it's number 7. I said that to you guys, did I not? Number 7 is on this card. That's the 7th house. So there's something here about... So Libra energy is just about balance. It's about justice. I feel like something with regards to the justice system is going to get them stuck in their heads. What is the energy surrounding July for them? We have Scorpio in reverse. Something is not being ended. They're not ending something. They're reprising something. Something is going to be reprised in July that is going to cause chaos. It's going to cause a desire to, I'm hearing an exodus, like trying to get out of a situation, but realizing they can't. It's like when you're in a room full of smoke and you're trying to find your exit, you can't freaking find it, but it's like you're aware that you could kind of get an idea of where to go, but you don't quite know who's in control. It feels like a lack of control is what's causing this doubt, this cloudiness, this feeling of being stuck in a situation that they didn't want. So it's interesting. Okay, the last card we have is Air. So yeah, there's something about communication. There's something about a ruling, some ruling action or decree that affects this. So, seven is very significant. So, someone's going to rule on something and say, you know what, we're tired of this. It could be another country or it could be our own, where we say something, but then we're not even freaking sure of how we're going to do it. And this feels like something that was like it's like a reprisal of a past issue. So, what's the advice? The advice is the Two of Swords. It's saying it will all be better if you just make a decision. Just make a decision. There's someone over analyzing a problem. Someone in the executive branch is over analyzing, and they need to find a compromise. So there's something about someone being too fast to like act and fight on something, and then everyone's energetically, the collective is like, whoa, 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 whoa. We don't need to do that. We don't need to go there. We don't need to go there that far. Something like that. That's what I'm getting. Nine of Pentacles. There's something about hyper independence. We have your dreams are fulfilled. Hard work leads to great success. A love for the beautiful things in life. There's something about someone here wanting to do something alone in the executive branch when there are other people that can help or there are other people that can balance things out. It's like a stubbornness again. We have the Knight of Raphael. This is the Knight of Cups, committed romantic relationships. This is about relationships and a proposal from another group that they need to take. But they're not going to, it seems. Situations or topics that make your heart flutter. This is a very sensitive topic that's being broached, and they don't like the executive branch at this moment in this current trajectory. Doesn't feel like they want to settle or compromise. They want to do this alone, independently, with the Nine of Pentacles. So let's see, how is that gonna go? How is that gonna go? Fingers crossed it goes well. Okay, we have the Two of Cups and the World. Two of Cups and the World, guys. And I feel like there's one more card. We have the Nine of Swords. They're gonna do it even though they're afraid. So this is gonna cause unnecessary stress. It feels like it's gonna cause anxiety. This is interesting. Why is the Two of Cups here? Four of Swords. Is this for a specific group, Spirit Team? Because I'm getting an alliance here. Pink Fox. Is this for a specific group? We have the Queen of Wands, the Soulmates, the Lovers card. We have the Seven of Cups, the Six of Cups, the Wheel of Fortune. Something that was agreed upon in the past is coming back, and that's why they're doing it. This is someone that's like an ally of the U.S. We have like a relationship with someone in particular. This could be a country. But there's something about past alliances and remembering the agreements you made in the past and saying, okay, it's 2025, we should get this done. We should do this together. That's the vibe I'm getting. It's someone that is feeling like they need to be honest or need to be loyal and true to what they said they would do. But it's like allegiances. It's like the enemy likely of this person we're allegiant to or have an allegiance with. The person that's against them is actually the one that's trying to propose something, and we unfortunately decline. I say unfortunately because it seems like it's coming from a place of wanting peace in some form. Knight of Cups here. But it's kind of flirtatious, and that's not very very mature energy. So it's probably just yeah. Anyways, I just heard a lot of things. I just heard eat now and suffer later, and I feel like it's like the proposal would have had us in a position that wouldn't have looked good. It would have affected our alliance with a certain country. So they're saying, so America said, no, we're not gonna do this. We're not gonna like lose someone that we have an allegiance to for a little proposal that will likely end up failing or not doing as well as we want. This is the Hierophant. This is Taurus energy. This is about like the president having to with the Fool. Interesting. This is death or yeah. We have the Emperor and the Fool. So there's something here about him having to make a split-second decision to honor something of the past. Because it feels like it's something that will lead to calm waters later. It's not something that might be easy now. So, okay, that's what we have. We have the Five of Cups at the bottom, though. So, um, there's a loss in July, okay? With August, we have the Six of Pentacles and the Seven of Pentacles. Six and Seven of Pentacles, guys. I love this deck because it's lenticular. You see how they're connected? Yeah, all the cards, like the suits, match or match up. At least a good number of them match up. So there's something here about a matching set. For some reason, I'm getting that from just the two connecting. But I'm also getting this fair distribution that they're expecting in August. So there's something here about a fair distribution that they're receiving. So it's likely from the group that they have an allegiance to, they're actually going to give them something in return for what they did. In denying something or not saying, yes, I want this from that opposing group. We have two that are coming through. I feel these two. Let's see what they are. We have justice. Yeah. So this says, fight for justice and equality. Rulings made in your favor. Don't give up. Exactly. So they are not giving up in August of 2025. We have the Queen of Cups as well. This is trustworthy psychic information. Follow your heart. A love of home and family. So this is there's a warm an emotional energy coming through. This is like a satisfaction that they have someone that they can partner with or feel like a sense of camaraderie with. That's significant. So there's going to be a warmer sense of seeing things balance out. I feel like I was going to say checks and balances. There's going to be a balancing effect to finances, so that's significant. I'm seeing here like a battle though with finances. There's a lot of worry with the Nine of Swords coming through. Yeah, and there's a lot of fives and nines. That's the energy of like really, really trying to be resilient with something and trying to fight. So there is a challenge that they will need to resolve. The Empress. So this has to do with either this could have something to do with women. Whoa, what happened to my throat? Something having to do with women, and something about my throat is significant. So it's like women's voices. I feel like there's going to be an overexertion in a sense of the feminine or feminine energies or female people out in the world of feeling like they're forcing themselves to speak or feeling like they've spoken so much that their throat is dry or their throat is bleeding. There's something about screaming or trying to express something to the mountaintops and it not being heard. We have Six of Wands and the Four of Ariel. So this is about wanting to protect oneself with the Four of Pentacles. This is about wanting to keep something that is yours to yourself and wanting to be successful. Like, it's mine. This is mine. This is what I'm feeling for the feminines. So there's an energy of like a challenge that they're going to have to experience to have something preserved to themselves. So we have the King of Swords. This could be something legal. This could be something that has to do with the justice system or something that has to do with the law in general. Something about the executive branch addressing women's voices and how their voices are being affected by this new law or this thing being addressed in paper or in court. There also is the Nine of Cups, which is the energy of self-reliance and having gratitude for yourself. So there's an independent energy. There's also this energy of there being stakes on joy, because when I see dreams become reality, this is about a dream that wants to become reality. Yeah, something about someone having a wish and this being a collective wish that the executive branch is going to address, and they're trying to give I'm hearing sparingly, guys. I don't want to come on here and seem really negative because I really don't have an expectation of what to see in the cards, but I'm getting words that are more so feeling like the it's like getting the like smaller end of the stick or getting like lesser than. So there's this energy of like tit for tat. The reciprocity is not very good, but there is something about people waiting for a long time for something and there being some payout. So you're going to expect or see a payout of something legally that has been pending for quite a while, whatever that is, in August. I swear something came out, but I don't see it, so I'm just gonna keep it on. What energies are significant, Spirit Team? Yeah, they're reminding me that the cards that I used are likely going to be needed again. So we have Mercury in reverse coming through. That's the energy of not speaking. So there's an energy of like a lack of either understanding and communication being very significant. Like people are not hearing each other. They're just yelling at each other. They're just bickering. They're not actually like getting to the core issue with a either a legal subject, something that's going to be addressed in August, and like feeling like unheard. A group of people are going to feel unheard in August and they're going to be addressing that. But I feel like they're only going to be able to give them like something. It doesn't feel like it's going to be in abundance. It's going to be like something that takes a while, but you're going to start to see something happen in August. So we'll see how that goes. I'm hearing 2. Feeling like this card is significant. 4 of Swords. The advice I feel like for the American people for August of 2024 is, or 2025. I don't know why I said 2024. Perhaps something happened in August of 2024 that's significant for this year. Meaning they waited until a full year to say something about this. Meaning they were like, I guess we should talk about this thing, right? So something about that is significant. 4 is significant. So there might be something big that happens 4 months later after August. So that's December. So there's something about this year, there being a need for us to, it says to have insights that come from quiet meditation. The need for more sleep or time off, seek relief from stress. So they're going to need to relieve themselves of a lot of stress that's going to come up in August for sure. So this is Mercury energy. This is Gemini Virgo energy. And when we're talking about Virgo, that's like the Virgin. So there's something about integrity here. There's something about communicating something with integrity that needs to happen. Yeah, really important stuff happening. And I'm hearing the Hermit, and that is September. September is the Hermit, the cosmic tree. That's so funny. So there's something about this tying into that, of course, as we get into September. We also have Virgo or Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy with the Pentacles coming through. So there's a groundedness that's going to come from the executive branch internally, but quietly. There's something about solitary happening. I'm not sure if they're going to be more quiet in September, or if there's something about them being more introspective. Even if they're out and about talking to people, there's an introspective energy with the Hermit here. Wow. Okay. And I heard knowing who your friends are. Then we have the 5 of Pentacles in reverse, not being excluded. So there's something about seeing that they feel excluded from a situation or from a group of people, because the bottom of the deck is the 3 of Cups. That's literally the opposite. So this 5 of Pentacles is about them getting out of being alone or isolated or abandoned from someone and coming back to maybe good terms with them. Who is this? We have the Queen of Wands. There's a feminine, there's a country. And I feel like this is a country that specifically may have a president or a person in control that's a feminine or female. There's a woman here, a ruler of a country that is being addressed here. We also have the Vessel, which is the Devil card. So this is about like a karmic connection, and we have the Empress. So there's something about karma with surrounding either women in the U.S., or this is about externally a group of. This could be the country that is considered to be the feminine energy. This is a country that has a leader that is a feminine energy. Any specific ones? Are there any specific ones? They don't want me to talk about specifics here. But when I thought of the Queen of Wands, my first thought was Brazil. But I just feel like Brazil tends to come up quite a bit. Justice for the country that the U.S. is addressing here. There's someone here that has a karmic tie to America, specifically, with 3 major arcana coming out to address this. This is a karmic connection that has been long-standing. And there's something about this person being very empowered, very abundant, being very tempting to the US, and them wanting the US wanting to be reconciled to them. Because I think of a relationship with the devil energy. It's someone who's tempting, someone who is not really that great for you. Maybe you're codependent on them to some extent. You have certain ties with them that are assisting you. There's something about, I think, the executive branch getting some insight into this connection and maybe seeing them for who they are with the Ace of Swords. This is about seeing that country for who they are and being very decisive with how they act towards this country. So we have the King of Pentacles. This is about a grounded energy and a grounded approach. We have the Hierophant. We have a lot of earth energy coming through. I feel like this is with the Phoenix coming through as well. This is about something that went up in flames in the past being revived. So this is like a karmic thing. They keep getting into fights with this country and coming back to them saying, please, I was about to say something really inappropriate. I don't know. It's just, I'll just say it. It's like it's like that connection where one person's like, "Oh, I miss you so much," like physically or intimately, and then they just want you for your body. It's like these two countries battle like all the time, but all they do at the end of the day is come back for their resources. It's really interesting. So that's the energy for September. What is the advice though? We have the Lovers. Can't make this up, guys. Make choices from your heart, deeply emotional commitments, the power of love. It's like those two people who always fight. Jeez Louise. And then we have the leap of faith, believe in yourself. This is Gemini energy with the Fool and the Lovers. So there's something about Gemini energy. So some Gemini always gets into this love-hate relationship with this person or with this group. Believe in yourself, listen to your heart, do what gives you joy. They're trying to start over. They're trying to have like a peaceful transition or a peaceful agreement or like a treaty of some sort to try to get back into like their good graces. The U.S. with this country. How will that go? Just out of curiosity, Spirit Team. Anything to say about that situation apart from those two? We have the Page of Cups. This is the energy of gentle, loving, dreamy, and open-hearted energy. This is about a new emotional situation and messages regarding relationships or social invitations. Great intuitive insights. So there's something about this country that America likes so much. It's like they have the ability to tap into more of their inner child. They're more creative. The executive branch feels this country is more creative and more empowering and more innovative, and they love that. So they go to them for help with understanding how to address certain matters in the US, and they won't admit that. I'm pretty sure they won't admit that. But they get a lot of resources out of them, and something about that yearly check-in, that yearly check-in with them, the moon secretly. So yeah, I don't know if they want me to say that. Queen of Cups. There's something about them loving this country, and they seem to not like them, but they really love them because they just feel and find something in them that I'm hearing solace. They find solace in this country. They find solace with this. And we have the Hanged Man, the sacrifice. So sacrifices here, that's telling me that they feel like they lose something when they go back to this country or go back to this agreement or go back to this energy that's coming from another place. It feels like it's another area that's warm in climate. That's what I feel for the Queen of Wands energy for that country. It's a warmer climate. Let's keep going. For October, we have the Ace of Cups. Look at that, guys. So I feel like after what they did, the agreement they reached with this country, literally there's like this emotional like influx of joy and creativity and excitement. There's something about like them getting a lot out of this country and then coming back to the American people and being like, I don't know, it's like when you you just get filled up by something. That's what's happening here with them. They feel like they're just filled up, the Magician. It's the energy of manifesting what they want. Now they have the resources that they want, the creative ideas that they want. Something is beginning in October because of this agreement last month. So what's the energy, spirit team? What is the energy that's involved with October of 2025? Neptune. Yeah, it's this Page of Cups energy. It's this inner child energy. Pisces is significant as well as Gemini. Gemini and Pisces are very significant here. Let's see. And then we have water. So we have the number 21, which is 3, and then we have 6, 4, which is 24. So we have 21 and 24, and they're both very similar because they're both water energies. We definitely have that same energy from last month. So whoever this is, like, they're really inspiring. They're really dreamy, in a sense, with their ideas. America eats that up. We have... We have Uranus. Guys, something about Uranus is so significant, and Neptune. There's something about their coldness and how they flow. This country is cold and they flow very well. They just have a tendency to maybe stand up against certain things, and they're more outspoken. And because of that, they don't take shit from anyone, and America loves that so much. Solutions. They have solutions to give to America. So we have success that comes from objective compromise, self-control, and patience. They have self-control and patience, very forgiving and healing energy. So this is an energy that tends to forgive quite a bit. They have a lot of love with the King of Cups for America, and they also have a star. They feel like it's a star or a faded, I'm hearing collaboration between America and this country. So the executive branch is going to come to some solutions with October of 2025, but they're also going to create something. They're going to begin to, it's like manifest something big. What are they manifesting? What is the executive branch manifesting here? Two of Swords. They're manifesting, interesting. We had the King of Pentacles come in, and now we have the Queen of Pentacles. They're trying to manifest a deal. 5 of Cups, 3 of Swords, 7 of Wands, with someone that's very defiant or very, they stand their ground. Some group that stands their ground really hard. They're trying to come to an agreement with them. And we have just a lot of burdens, though. This group burdens them. We have the Knight of Swords, 4 of Swords, wanting peace, wanting success with the 6 of Wands, 7 of Cups in the world. They want to transition in October of 2025 and start a deal with a country. And I feel like it's an icy climate because I heard Iceland. So there's something about an icy climate or an icy connection. And they're trying to talk about this. With the fact that all these cards spilled out is making me feel like there's history. There's a lot of history with this group, and I feel like they're trying to find peace with them this month, okay? So what is their advice? Because I'm going to start putting stuff back because we have so many cards out, you guys. Please like, share, and subscribe if you guys are enjoying this so far. I purposely have been lessening the ads because I feel like when I listen to it myself, I'm like, really, guys? You guys are going to put something every 4 minutes for you guys? So I'm going to be updating those. But if you're enjoying this video, please like, share, and subscribe, guys. Doing so will help people see this, because that is the only way people see this is through your involvement or interaction. The algorithm is quite interesting. People that are more popular tend to get more views, and I understand that. So kudos to those people, though, for working so hard. So we have a lot of things to talk about, but I want to get into the advice for October. Apart from the solutions with this person, of making solutions and of trying to come to an agreement with a country, it's not the same country that we talked about prior. This is another country. It's almost like there's 3 countries, right? And 1 and 2 of the 3 hate each other, but they always come together. And then the third one is kind of like never liked either of them, but they're trying to agree to do something with 1 and 2. Very interesting energy. It's like this other group is just not even interested in being involved. We have, yes, it is safe to trust. Their advice is to trust, and to trust that they can make this happen. There's something about divine guidance. So This is feeling spiritual. So there's someone here that needs to kind of see the value and the meaning of life. And I feel like this is the president. I feel like he's having this recognition of the meaning of his place in society right now as the president. And I feel like he's starting to face his fears and grow stronger, and he's trying to like look at the dark side of things that he's experienced and trying to get accurate guidance from like his spirit. Somehow he's way more intuitive right now. So the executive branch is a lot more intuitive, or their advice is to be more intuitive in order to get things done the right way. So their advice at least is to be more intuitive. I feel like he's capable of this. I feel like he needs to trust more. Something about him not trusting anyone. We also have just searching for more meaning. I feel like he feels kind of like apathetic, discouraged sometimes, oftentimes I feel like. And I feel like he often is like searching for meaning in all of what's happening right now. That's what I'm getting. I feel like he needs to be, I'm hearing a wake-up call. He needs a wake-up call spiritually in order to like have a well-rounded understanding of how to lead. Something about his like healing process being significant. It says a dream come true, believe in yourself, the end of a difficult situation. He needs to believe in himself. So we have November, December, January, February, March, April. So for the next month, for November, we have not November, the Three of Wands. Three of Wands energy. Let me just let you guys see that a little bit better. This is like someone clinging to a group of people. There's something about someone feeling lifted or someone feeling anointed in some way. So the executive branch, there's something about someone getting the clear to focus on doing something, on moving ahead with something. It could be something abroad. So a lot of things are happening. Geez, like they're not getting a break. Of course, I feel like that's normal, but like it's just interesting to feeling the entirety of that. It's like they're moving so quick when I don't even know if they realize how quick they're moving. They may not feel like they're moving that quickly, but they are. Three of Wands is telling me like travel is significant with the air energy and the water. It could be overseas, traveling overseas, and then we have Venus. So with the Three of Wands and Venus energy, with the number 16, it feels like there's something that's going to be created out of this prior partnership. If it goes well, I feel like with the Devil peeking out, there's something else here. What's happening with the Three of Wands? We have the Ten of Swords. This is... Okay. I'm hearing mass displacement. So something about there being a lot of displacement of people. Ten of Wands at the bottom. This is death. This is chaos. So we have the King of Swords. Something that is decreed or said is going to cause a lot of pain. It's gonna cause a lot of people to fight. So in November, something that's said by the executive branch is gonna cause people... I don't even know if this is something we're going to hear about on the media, the media's end. Because it's something that I think is international. Because of the air energy and the water, this is a very emotional thing to say to people. This is something that's going to bring about either fear, anger, pain, resentment to people. And it has something to do with Venus energy. So I feel like this could be connected to the energy that we got in August. Something is going to be said that causes a lot of like sadness or a lot of just terrible, like there's going to be like an ending of some sort, because you can look at this in a positive way. The Ten of Swords is it's the end of a lot of pain and agony. So something agonizing is going to end quite quickly, but there's something about the King of Swords. This is about like the truth coming out. So what is your advice for the executive branch here Decision. They have to make a decision. The devil energy. Release yourself from that holds you back. There's an illusion here. There's still an illusion. I don't care how long. I'm saying I don't care because I feel like even 3 months later, it's still coming up. There's still an illusion. This is more than 3 months because I mentioned it earlier. But there's an illusion that someone that they're not seeing. And there's a need to detoxify or cleanse either their contacts or the people that they trust. There's something about communication or a lot of things coming out in the media about this, and something about healing needing to be done. There's something about like an end of a situation, a tough situation involving Venus energy. This is involving a woman in particular, or this is about women in general, it feels like. And there's something here about something being decreed. And I feel like Archangel Gabriel is all over this. So someone here needs to look into Gabriel because I feel like specifically what he does, I think it's through music. Yeah, and okay. Something about Gabriel and Raphael, there's something about music. There's going to be great music that comes out around this time. And that's significant because I think, with when it comes to all branches, when it comes to humanity, when we hear a song or we hear about a song, it travels pretty quickly when it's mainstream. So there's something about like something coming out at that time that people are really going to hold on to. And I'm seeing peacekeeper. So someone's going to say something, a declaration that's very profound or very influential is going to come out at this time in November. And look at this, it's going to come out by a feminine energy. It could be a fire sign, or it could just be a very empowered and independent woman. But I just feel like it's a woman specifically. And then we have the Seven of Wands. This is the energy of defense and standing your ground. You see how there's so many Gabriels? There's something about either a person named Gabriel along with this feminine energy or female. Talking or singing or sharing something that really is very pivotal energetically for America and for the executive branch. So very interesting to see that. There's a lot of water and fire, so there's something about like a very strong emotion coming out of this. A very strong energy of like defiance and also of wanting to see something set free or something to be told, for there to be truth about a situation revolving around the feminine or about something that happened in August. So it's continuing on. So we have December coming in with the King of Cups. This is the peacemaker, guys. So we have the King of Cups. This is the masculine coming in now to fill in the gap, because I feel like masculine and feminine energies are meant to flow in symbiotically. And there's something about the masculine energy coming in the executive branch, and something about fathers, or something about just a very emotionally satisfied energy coming in for December. This could be about the time of the year, because when you think about December, it's typically Christmas for a number of people if they celebrate it. And I feel like the energy of, and Kwanzaa and other things. So it's like the Christian type belief systems coming in here. So there's something about like an emotional satisfaction or an emotional health that we see in December. This could be like a kindness that we see more of in the executive branch. Please clarify that King of Cups for me. The Star. This is a healing energy. So there's a healing energy like a balm that's coming over. BALM. I have to say that every time. Because the way I get words, it's very specific. I'm going to say it exactly as I get it for you guys. So yeah, we have the Star, the composer. This is about composing a new melody, or something about taking all of the like really gnarly, I'm hearing gnarly things that have happened in the year, and creating something beautiful, because it's about resilience and about not backing down. It's about fearlessness. It's about dedication and perseverance for the executive branch, that they kept going through all of the moments of fear or strife or imbalances or illusions or disempowerment that they may have felt, even if they tried to project that they were very strong and stubborn and prideful. Everyone has their moments. I feel like that's the human thing, is to recognize all aspects of the experience. And it's a really evolved thing to do, to recognize it and not just say, yeah, whatever. So there's something about like a softness coming through, and the Hanged Man is telling me there's something about letting go of something for the time being, holding off on it, like not talking about it or holding it and saying, we will see how this happens, because the Hanged Man feels like there's still deliberation. But remember when I said that the hanged man is what they need? They're taking the hanged man energy in December. It took the end of the year for them to get to this point to actually reflect. So they're going to have their reflection later on in the year, the end of the year, if all goes well or all is meant to go in this trajectory. But there's a sacrifice that they had to make at the end of the year. They had to get through some maze. And they realized in order to get through the maze, they had to ask for help. We have justice, the world, the veil, the star, Seven of Cups, and the Four of Swords. Something about letting go happened in December. They were just like, I don't know what the hell to do. They dropped their armor. Something about dropping their armor and just saying, I can't do anymore, I need to sleep, happened for them. They're just so overworked, overburdened by the end of the year that they had to just let it go. They were just like, we don't even really know. Something is disillusion. Like there's an illusion, a major illusion. Can you please help me understand what this illusion is? This is about communication. There's something about the communication between countries or someone, it has to do with somebody, like is not communicating efficiently or in the way that most people would like it, or there's something about misunderstandings between people. There's a misunderstanding here and it's causing a lot of illusions. So there's something about someone talking about their dreams or their fantasies or their goals, but they're coming from a very prideful place with it, and it's kind of confusing people. They're not seeing it for what it really is on the like they're not able to interpret it the way the person's saying it. It's like they're seeing it through the lens of other things that they experience. So there's like there's someone that needs to like have a mediator that speaks for them or speaks with them in order for them to be heard in an accurate way. I feel like they're not getting through to people. So I don't know if this is the president or vice president. Who is this? Is this a specific person within the executive branch that isn't doing this accurately? No, it's literally multiple people. So there's 2 or 3 people, or like up to 5 even, that are just not seeing eye to eye. This is the 5 of Wands. People with a different vision, different foundation, different belief systems. They're all trying to do this. So yeah, it's just a matter of all of them getting to clarify what this is. Because I feel like a lot of things are getting lost in translation rather than it being like, it's not being regurgitated accurately. It's actually being like muddled because people are not understanding what they're trying to say. So that's too bad. January, we have the 9 of Cups in reverse. Wow. This is a codependent energy. This is someone who's clingy. 10 of Wands is about someone who's afraid to go back out. I'm seeing someone holding onto someone's shirt and saying, please don't go, please don't go, please don't go. And there's this energy of like not wanting someone to let something end. So the executive branch is feeling codependent to something or someone that wants to cause some major ending, either with them or to something that they want, that the United States wants. So interesting energy. Can you please clarify? We have the 6 of Cups. This person is like this is a friend of the executive branch. We have the 8 of Wands and the 4 of Cups. Yeah. Communication hasn't been that great with this group, whoever this is. So the executive branch is feeling like they're not being heard, they're not being listened to. Someone's not listening. And I'm hearing someone with the like last name Martin, or it could be their first name, but it's like I'm hearing Martincak, Martincak. That's a specific last name. I knew someone with that name, and I think that might just be symbolic. This was a person that knew a family member that was in a relationship with my family member. So when it comes to the United States, it feels like what they're saying is that the United States has like a brother nation that they consider to be quite close in relation to, that is involving themselves with someone that isn't staying long term or isn't someone that they have a lot of history with, and the United States is trying to drag their feet a bit because they don't feel like they're being addressed, or they're not being treated as fairly as as the extension is. So you have 3 people. America's 1. Their brother nation is 2. And 3 is this friend of the brother. So 1 is not feeling connected to 2 enough because 2 went off with 3. So United States is feeling like they're being left out here. What is the advice? What is the energy surrounding that? What is the main energy there? Okay, we have Taurus. Yeah. So this is greed. This is like latching on to something in order to make more out of it. This is an industry. So there's something about the executive branch in an industry, because I keep seeing like cigarettes. So this person is likely, this group, this brother nation, might have, it's not the brother nation, it's number 3. They seem to be like, there's something about addiction here. Moon, because moon is usually about your like shadow side. This is like a shadow side of the executive branch, is being codependent with a group. Mercury and Saturn, yeah, and Earth. One moment, of course. When you don't hear me talking, it's because I need a moment. I'm hearing Eaton, and I'm curious what that is. So I'm gonna like type it up here. Eaton, E-A-T-O-N. Who's Eaton? A global company that provides electrical and industrial products and services for power distribution, power quality distribution and control, hydraulics, aerospace, and vehicle electrification. There's something about the field of power, something about a global company. This could be specifically the company that we're talking about, but I feel like it's about the energy. It's about some industrial idea or solution that they want to enact with a country, or they want to address maybe by using something that relates to a country, but they're feeling really codependent and they're overly dependent on this country. And it's not satisfying. It's like they have to rely on them. They don't like that. It's like when you're codependent and you know you are, but you don't like it. We have that moon energy again. This is a shadow energy. There's a need to improve their plans. There's a need to do something without this person, without this industry, without this group. There could be someone specifically from Ohio that is significant for this part of the reading, but there's something because it's from Eaton, Ohio, it says, or at least from Beechwood, Ohio. So there's something about that state, but there's something about sustainability globally, or improving sustainability and new energy in some way, and they're trying to get something with somebody, and I'm getting too many words that I don't want to just throw them out unless I know what the hell they are. I'm just getting like half words. Like I'm getting something that starts with an H, so it sounds like Holland, so I don't know if it has to do with Holland, but there's something about like another country, and earlier I heard Scandinavia, but I don't know like what specific areas it is. It's just like a region, something about Europe, and then also about them needing help but not wanting to depend on them this much. So their advice is to grow stronger, to be resilient here. What's kind of crazy, if you guys look at this, it says environmental activism at the bottom. What were we just talking about? So yeah, it's about the environment. And I'm hearing Toledo, Ohio is significant, so we'll keep that in mind and see what happens. Okay guys. So they're gonna feel like they're stuck in the month of January, stuck in an agreement or a new solution in January of 2026 with a group of people that relates to sustainability and power and about energy, some energy source. They're gonna feel stuck. Okay, so now in February we have the 10 of Cups in reverse, continuing on with that energy. 9 of Pentacles. So they're not going to be happy with this group and they're going to leave. They're going to maintain independence in some way if they don't fully leave. There's something about 2026 because I just heard 2026 and I feel like it's saying like something about the year. What is up with this year and why is this energy coming through? We have the Seven of Cups. Those dang illusions again. There's something about a hyper independence that comes in out of fear. So there's a fear in the executive branch, and the thing that comes in right after that is distance and illusions about this group. So we'll see. Indecision. We have the Chariot, the spirit plane. So there's something about moving out of this energy while they're confused. And while they're indecisive, it's about shopping for something as well, like shopping through an opportunity and saying, I don't really like this deal. We can end it with the Ten of Swords at the bottom. So like you see the vultures eating that carcass. They're going to leave something and they're going to leave it to the wolves. They're going to leave it to the vultures and have them take care of it. So that's pretty cutthroat. The executive branch is going to be pretty cutthroat in February here. So we have Saturn. Yeah, they're like, we're too busy. We have too many things to focus on. Forget you. We don't need you now. Something is shifting for them. They're going to have some inflow of something. We have Capricorn for Saturn. So yeah, something is going to work out and pay off. In dividends is what I'm hearing for the work that the executive branch is going to be doing in February. So they don't need this opportunity, or they're going to cut ties with certain things. I don't know if this is the exact thing we talked about last month, but there's something about a breakdown as well with there's something about a loss with the Ten of Cups in reverse. That's like about harmony in reverse. That's something about something going a little backwards in order for them to move into something independently. So unfortunately, they're going to have to take a hit for something that they were a part of prior. So that's significant. We have 16 and 19. And for some reason, that makes me feel like this is a reflection of the work they've done to someone else. So it's almost karmic with the Capricorn energy and the Saturn energy. There's something about karma. There's something about karma coming back. And with the Venus energy, this could also be about specific energies with the feminine. This is not always about women versus men or anything like that. It's usually energies that are primarily the focus. And I feel like it's something about the nurturing energy not being honored, and then them coming to a place of karmic retribution where they're seeing, damn, I wasn't actually listening to my intuition. I wasn't listening to like flowing through something. I was trying to act all the time or make things happen. We're, determined to make it happen for me. And now I have to realize that I have to let go. So there's like a letting go happening, but there's also an independent energy with it. It's like, I don't want you to see me crying. I don't want you to see me struggling. So I'm going to go to my room and I'm going to sit here and recognize that I messed up or that I didn't do it the way I wanted to or do something the way I wanted to. So it's like a silent isolation away from a certain country while they try to figure out something to do because they can't admit that they were not flowing through an idea or a situation. It seems like there's some illusions here. It constantly comes up in readings right now. So someone in the executive branch is feeling this way or is always asking questions and never quite getting to a solution. They get confused or they get this I don't know, I'm getting like disillusioned energy a lot. So let's move on into March. We have the Knight of Wands. This is the shapeshifter, very powerful energy. So it's funny that they're in the Nine of Pentacles, right? Independence, focusing on their wealth, their priorities, and kind of maintaining more of like that pride for what they can do on their own. But then there's this energy of like it ramping up for a main event. So there's some main event happening. Oops. Oh. And then my computer, like my cards hit it, and now it says John Elway golf cart mishap. So I don't know if there's going to be a golf cart mishap for someone in the executive branch, or something that happens with their car or with their body. There's some mishap happening here. We have Virgo and Earth energy coming through to clarify the Knight of Wands. So there's something about stability coming in really quickly for them. Something about Virgo energy. So something about, interesting, with the mishap, I thought of like the body and I thought of home. So I feel like there's something about March being a time for someone to spend more time at home, recalibrating or recovering. We have air. So this could be something that someone's told to do in the executive branch, is to take some time away because they need to get more sleep. So something about that is significant. They've been working way too hard. Everyone's like, man, you're starting to lose it. You need to go to sleep. You need to go home. You need to take a nap. You need to take some time yourself, eat some good food, like really get yourself back into the zone. I'm hearing lounge, so I don't know if this person likes to go to a lounge or they just need a lounge around the house for a bit, if they can. I'm hearing depression. This person's starting to get signs of clinical depression. We have the sun in reverse. This is like coming out Spitfire. I feel like this person's feeling stuck in like a rhythm of feeling like they're only meant to do something a certain way. And I'm hearing Paddington, so I don't know if this person feels like, I don't know, what is Paddington all about? I don't know. I didn't grow up with Paddington, but there's something about like the character, something about 2014, because that's when it came out. Something about prior to this presidency or prior to this group of people, this cabinet, right? There's something about feeling like things were kind of like not really like as vibrant in life. Feeling like infinite paths didn't await this person. They had to go a certain course because they didn't have a choice. Someone here feels like they don't have a choice. But then we have the Four of Wands and we have the Page of Cups. This is what they felt. I feel like this is something that they want to feel again. They want to feel victorious. They want to feel happy. They want to feel excited. They want to feel that inner child. But they need time away. So Paddington is a children's story. I feel like this person wants to be a child again, or wants to have some time to get away from all of the, I'm hearing severity of things. We have the Fool. That's the energy of starting over. We also have the Queen of Pentacles. So something about a mother energy or a feminine, wanting to communicate with a feminine. Like this could be someone that's not happy with them. So this is a specific executive. Someone is not feeling happy with either their wife or their partner or their mother. And something about like something being cut, like the happiness being drained. Four of Cups and the Lovers. Guys, this is not like made up. This is coming out over and over. This person has something happening with their relationship. They could be going through legal proceedings with their relationship and it's not working out. So they're not happy. They're suffering silently, or at least they're suffering and people are maybe not saying anything right away, but they're feeling like they have to say it in March. We have Death, yeah, past lives, and the Mender. This person wants to feel the Queen of Cups. They feel like the severity more. They also want to feel more grounded. They want to feel like they're able to be a father, because I saw the King of Pentacles to the Queen of Pentacles. So this person feels like Trump, or this feels like the vice president or the cabinet. Someone's feeling like disconnected from their wife, from their partner. Even though things are looking like they're ramping up, they need a break. So finally, we have the Four of Pentacles in reverse for April 2026. Guys, Four of Pentacles in reverse is opening up to something. This is letting go. Something is happening. Someone is letting something go in the executive branch, and they're saying, let God take the wheel. We have Gemini, Cancer. Anything else? I feel like it's, yeah, Gemini, Cancer, and Aquarius energy. So there's three people. I feel like this is three people. A Gemini, a Cancer, and Aquarius are all recognizing that they need to submit to something. So these are likely the main people. This is likely the president, someone else in the cabinet, because I believe JD is a Leo. So it's someone in the cabinet, a Cancer and an Aquarius. There's something about the energies, most importantly, with this. It feels like there's something about them needing to do something different. They're opening up to a new way of doing something. And they're also opening up to something emotional. Yeah, that Neptune energy, geez. They're getting a lot of Neptune energies. Pisces is very important in the executive branch. I feel like they're like really trying to create something that's not done before. And I feel like they're opening up to the new. So we will see how that fares for them. What is the advice for the Four of Pentacles in reverse? The Five of Pentacles. You needn't go through your current challenges alone. Help is nearby. Negative thoughts create self-fulfilling prophecies. So there's a need to let go and let other people help in some way, of not trying to resist the flow of something. We have the moon. There's something secretive about this. So there's a secret. 4 secrets might be revealed in April of 2026. There's something about improving their plans and listening to their intuition and saying, you can't do this alone anymore, United States or executive branch. We have to do this with someone else. We have to tell people what we've been holding on to. Something has to be dropped. Success that comes from objective compromise. There has to be compromise. So they're finally going to get into an energy of compromise, or that's their advice. Hopefully they do it. Self-control and patience is necessary, and forgiving and healing energy. So there's a need for them to forgive something and to let go of something. And look at the bottom, guys, 4 of Pentacles again. It says when you give, you also receive. Being resistant to change, extremes in how you save or spend money. Money is going to be coming into either the American people's hands, or money that was meant to go into someone else's hands is finally getting in their hands. They're finally going to receive when they give or let go of something that they've been holding on to. This could be information, this could be money. This can also be resistance to change. They're letting go. So that is what I have for you guys for the executive branch. That was a lot. I hope you resonated with that in some way, shape, or form. And I hope that you will also let me know what you find in the comments below. Please let me know what you hear about in the year ahead, whenever you see this. It would be wonderful to talk to some of you more. Please let me know what you think of readings like this. And I will be back with another video. So like, share, and subscribe. And thank you all so much for watching. You take care and have a wonderful day.